What ho, chaps? How the devil? Hope all is well in your neck of the woods. Decent number in already. Kate, thank you for modding as usual. Mark, Scouse Obi, Dave Mitchell, Kirky Bally, everybody else. You know your names. You're always in here, you lot. What's the date? 16th of March, 2022. Is there still a home guard? I don't believe so. The TA is still there, although I don't even think they're called the Territorial Army anymore. I've got one mate who's still in the reservists. I think they're just called the Army Reserve now. But I mean, we still have part-timers who'd be more useful than nothing in a war. But it's the TA, right? It's not the world's most capable group of people. Blue Van Man's back in. Blue Van Man, you'll have to shoot me an email, please, because I've lost your. I'm off Twitter now, and I don't recall when you gave me your email address. And obviously, I'm trying to square shit away when I get back in the UK. So send me a message. I did make an antagonistic brisket alt on Twitter. You can send him a message, or you can get me on whatever else is in the links, or mattyrm@gmail.com, which everybody knows, right? Jeff Wedden, 62. 62 years of young. Well done, Jeff. Okay, let's do some news, shall we? And then I'm going to segue from the BBC Spews into the fucking Guardian is retardian because my missus sent me a story from the Guardian that just, well, I was going to say beggared belief, but it doesn't beg a belief because we know what to expect now, don't we? So it doesn't beg a belief. That'd be hyperbolic in the extreme. But it's more of the same. Let's just say that it's more of the same, but even more surprisingly ridiculous than a lot of things I've read lately. So this one, again, just proving what we keep saying about the world's gone mad and all the people that call themselves tolerant and reasonable are actually the most bigoted, reactionary, fucked up people in the world. Like they could give the Nazis a run, some of these people, because it's the first thing they think of in the morning and the last thing they think about at night. They're crazy. Like normal people don't divide the world into little groups and just see everything through it. Everything. Jordan Peterson talking about to Kathy Newman, saying, you people, you're the very definition of an ideologue. You just all think the same. Like the NPC meme is the best one ever, isn't it? Because not one of them has a different opinion on anything. They're just fucking robots. They're like the T-800. If Skynet was a big, fat, purple-haired lesbian with Velcro shoes, because it doesn't really have the brains to tie them, that would be what's creating them. It's baffling, the stuff they come out with. And again, this is just a good example of it. If you're a genuinely nice person, you don't advertise everything you do, which is, I think, the biggest annoyance I have with all of this. You've got these people who, I mean, there's a great blog on Facebook who makes videos of people virtue signaling. And there's really famous ones. Like there's one where a woman gets out of a car, walks over to like a guy who's repairing a shop that's been vandalized, and she asks him, "Can you just let me hold your hammer for a bit and then take a photo of me?" And it's all on video. So somebody else has said, "What's this silly cow doing?" and videoed it. And she gets out. He gives her the hammer because, like most workmen, he doesn't care. He's like, me, I'd probably say, "What do you want my hammer for, you silly cunt?" But obviously, like most workmen, he just wants to get his work done. Those blue-collar blokes that keep the world fucking moving. He just wants to get on with his life and do his job. So he goes, yeah, here you go, give me the camera. And she holds the hammer and like stands next to the wall, like as if she's hammering a nail in to do a bit of repairs. And then he takes the photo. And then she does a few more, like nice pauses. And then one with a fist up like that, yeah. And then she gets in the car and drives off. And he just shakes his head and cracks on. And that's what these fucking lunatics are like. Like, they'll go on giving out supplies to Ukrainian refugees, and they'll stand there meeting them off the bus, and they're there with like a fucking bag of sandwiches, and they're taking a selfie. It's like, you're not doing it because you're trying to be the big man, and you're trying to be the better person and be charitable and be helpful. You're doing it blatantly and shamelessly for self-promotion. And like I've said many times, the worst aspect of that is that humans, being cunning, clever creatures, the best liars in the animal kingdom, right? We have a talent for subterfuge, for lies, for Machiavellian politicking in any situation. It's why anyone who's ever worked in an office. One of the guys in the office when I worked at Games Workshop was just typical a Machiavellian schemer who used to just, nicest pie to everybody's face, hi, all the time, overly nice. Never seem to have a bad day. But then when everyone's chatting around the water cooler, they're like, oh yeah, he called you a cunt and he's done this and he's done that. It's like a Machiavellian schemer. That's what humans are like. And because of that, when someone's overtly and obviously nice all the time, often they're the worst people imaginable, which is why so many of these woke male feminists turn out to be fucking rapists. Do you know what I mean? It's like priests. Why do they go into the priesthood if they're going to be a nonce? Well, it's because it gives you a cover. Think about it logically. I remember keep people asking dating advice questions on Quora. I always said, if you want to go out with a bloke who's going to be a good husband material, go out with a normal bloke who doesn't appear to have too many airs and graces. If he's just like an average geezer and he lets it all hang out, and maybe occasionally he's a bit of a slob and he's a bit of a fucking, you might say, non-PC things, but he seems to have a good heart. That's the type of person you want to be attaching your kind of caravan to, because someone that's overtly nice all the time is doing it because they're not nice. It's so obvious. And then blokes like me who swear and fart and don't worry about our airs and graces too much. Funny old thing, I've got no convictions for sexual assault. It's always the way. Bill Clinton, how much shit has Bill Clinton said he's done for charity? And how many nonsense does he know? I don't know any. And none of my friends have been convicted of fucking kids, but he's got plenty. And yet, isn't he always gone about his foundations and this charity work? Weird that, isn't it? How much do you reckon Epstein gave to charity? It's so fucking obvious to anyone who isn't a maniac. Like I've said it many times, ladies, single ladies in the chat, if a bloke has a social media page that is all about how much he stands up for women's rights, like, I'm not even having a go. If occasionally, like if you were to glance at a bloke's Facebook page and you scroll through, and after about 6 months worth of posting, there's maybe 2 or 3 about whatever fucking causes he likes. Fair enough. But you can see when they're an ideologue, because I click on them on Twitter and it's just 9 out of 10 posts. They're not talking about the hobbies or the wife and kids or walking the dog or what they're had to eat or what they're listening to. Everything's activism. And blokes like that should be fucking feared. I'm not even going to say suspicious of them. I'd say they're just scary. You get a male feminist ally who just goes on about women's rights all the time. He's probably a fucking sex pest. He's right. Yeah, women's rights, man. Yeah, he's probably got 3 teenagers chained to the radiator in his fucking cellar. Right? These are the type of people. I bet that Ariel Castro was all about women's rights when he skull fucking corpses underneath his house. Fred West. If Twitter was about when Fred West was at it, he'd have been all about. He'd have been woke as fuck. Fred West. He'd have been the worst woke man on the block, because these people are fucked in the head. And that's just obvious to anyone who isn't a maniac. To anyone that isn't a maniac, Moira Hindley would have been all about equality. She'd have had a childhood charity set up. She's been on Twitter 9 days out of 10 tweeting about, oh, we've got to look after the kids. These people are fucking lunatics. Good old Moira. She'd have been all over it. All right, okay, Blue Van Man's give me, I'll just fucking take a note of that in my notepad. Hang on. I'm shocking at admin. I may as well just do it while everyone's watching. Fuck it. You can amuse yourself in the chat for 10 seconds. we go, done. Yeah, so fucking mental. So back to the matter at hand. There's your opening 13-minute tirade. Derbyshire couple offers home to Ukrainian LGBT refugees. So they're not even like... In 2022, by the way, let me just say, you could possibly understand this if it was antebellum USA and there was refugees from a state that was collapsing into civil war, and you could imagine, oh yeah, well, maybe a lot of the people in a position where they've got spare room, they don't really like black people, so we need a special scheme to offer housing to them. But in 2022, this type of thing is not even a question that gets asked. People who say, oh yeah, I'll take in a refugee, don't go, I'll take in a refugee as long as he's not a fudge packer. That doesn't fucking happen, ever. I guarantee not one person has ever volunteered with the Home Office to get that measly £250 a fucking month and said, oh, I'll take in a Ukrainian refugee. Oh, as long as he's not an uphill gardener. Oh, I can't abide them. It's never happened. Nobody cares. If you're the type of person that offers your home up to a Ukrainian refugee, you're a do-gooding person, and you don't care about that type of thing. So this doesn't need to exist. It's like the BBC's schemes for getting black people in front of the camera. Behind the camera. You could understand if we were living in a different era and black people were getting stitched up left, right, and centre, and they said, oh, we need equal representation. But they don't. We've seen the numbers. We've seen that the most impoverished, most stitched up group in the UK are white, not working class, really, poverty, white men in poverty, sink estates, council estates. We've seen the numbers. Like I said, young black lads on free school meals, 60% of them get to go to university compared to like 7% of white lads on free school meals. So we know who the lowest of the low is in British society. And it isn't young black lads. And yet the BBC still goes on and says, oh, we'll only give you a job if you happen to be black. Because they're obsessed with this nonsense. And it could be understandable if they were just talking about in front of the camera stuff, because representation will have you, and they were underrepresented rather than overrepresented, which they are. But it's not even like that. It's literally behind the lad who makes the tea. No, you can't have it, white lad. You have to just go and fucking clean toilets for a living. They're the only jobs you can do, because we're going to have it so, despite the fact that black lads are only 6% of the population in the UK, they're getting all the fucking good jobs. We're just going to purely selectively pick them over you, even though 60% of them get to go to uni and 7% of you do. So that's how fucked up it is. It's the people who need help the least are getting the most. And then these fucking lunatics, Derbyshire couple offering homes to Ukrainian LGBT refugees, are drawing another line in the sand and saying, no, we don't just want refugees. What about the straight? Oh, fuck them. We just want the gay ones. It's like, from all backgrounds, bollocks. You know what this sounds like to me? This sounds creepy. This sounds to me like they're trying to find someone to fucking shaft. Do you know what I mean? Like if an old man said, oh, I'm going to take in Ukrainian refugees, but they have to be attractive women under the age of 30, you'd instantly go, so you're just looking for someone to fucking shaft, aren't you? You dirty old bastard. But when this lot do it, nobody bats an eyelid. If you're a leser and you say, I only want lesers, send it to me. Young, nubile, yeah, young, moisturised lesers. Yeah, send them my way. That's what I instantly think of, because I'm normal. I think fucking Chinny McChinnison there, fucking Bruce Forsyth with the wig on, I think she's getting the chin dough out because she's applying for people to come and live in her house who she's reckons she's got a decent chance of fucking fingering a couple of days into the trip. That's what it sounds like to me. So A, she's advertising it everywhere to try and virtue signal, and B, she's massively upping the chances that she's going to get some nice, athletic, nubile, young Ukrainian lesers in the house, isn't she? That's what she's thinking. It's obvious to anybody who's normal. But they don't even think. They just go, yeah, look at this wonderful fucking woman, a former university worker and her wife. Yeah. Particularly interested in hosting people from the LG community. I wonder why. Say me, oh yeah, I'll let Ukrainian refugees in. Oh, will you? Yeah, but they have to be really good-looking women. Yeah, straight women. No women in comfortable shoes. I want the hot ones, preferably. Can you put down on there a preference for blue eyes, brown hair, 5'9", slightly coarse and wiry? Yeah, put that down. Yeah, basically using a tragedy as a dating agency, right? That's what they're doing. It was a tragedy for a fucking dating agency. You mucky pair of twats. You dirty sack of carrots, Sarah. Sarah, you should be ashamed of yourself. You're just trying to get some action, aren't you, you fucker? I bet she's got a clitoris like fucking Rocky's speedball. Filthy, filthy creature. They said she feared LGBT refugees may face additional cost. Of course they do. The bombs are dropping. The bombs are dropping and the snipers are out there. I want to bag me a lesser. They don't care. I think Putin's gone, right, when you're killing civilians, he's probably never said that. Like any military commander knows to try and minimize civilian casualties. They think Putin's gone, kill as many civvies as you can and make sure you get the lasers. Yeah, if you can pick a target, yeah, just go, make sure. In fact, before you should execute anyone, just say, do you happen to love cock, mate? Excuse me, mate, are you well into cock? Do you love playing the blue vein flute? Yeah, I fucking love it. Next guy in the line. What about you? No, I'm well into tits, me. It'd be like Pol Pot, you know, like the most incompetent genocide ever. Where he's like asking people, "Oh yeah, have you ever done any training abroad? Have you got a good education from a European university?" if you've got the IQ of a pork pie, you go, "No, never been anywhere else. I love Cambodia, me. I love rural Cambodia. I love being a farmer in the middle of nowhere. I don't even like washing machines. I love to go to the rock, the river, and bash my stones, bash my clothes with a brick. And then when you got a fucking idiot who's never been out the country because he is a fucking simpleton, he just doesn't realise that what he needs to say, and he gets a bullet in the head. Apparently, he used to kill people who had glasses on because it showed that you were like into, you know, modern medicine or modern whatever, you use modern technology. So all the clever people would go, fuck, there's Pol Pot in the Khmer Rouge, whoop, take the glasses off, put them in the pocket. And then some gibbering simpleton's like, with his NHS rims on, he just keeps them on because he doesn't know he's got a problem. So it's fucking ridiculous. It's ridiculous. This is a non-story. LGBT refugees don't face additional persecution. It's a war. There's a lot of stuff happening, but worrying about what you happen to put your cock in isn't any aspect of it. And yeah, so it's bollocks. So we've got 2 spare rooms, a single and a double, and we want to get some action. So yeah, it's not about big grand gestures. It's about doing what you can with what you have. Oh yeah, cheers. No, it's about getting some action, you fucking filthy creatures. So yeah, you go. Sarah and her wife, Helen, are a pair of mucky twats. And if I was you girls, I'd steer well clear, unless you're into cock, at which point you'll be perfectly safe. But then they won't let you in. Not very nice of them, is it, if you need a house? I suppose you could just lie. They're not going to test you, either. You go in and they say, you know, like the fucking Gestapo with a clipboard. Oh, we want refugees. Yeah. Oh, hang on a sec. Are you a lesbian? Just go, yeah, I'm well into minge. Love it. Hopefully they're not as deviant as I think they are, and they'll, like, you know, strap you to the kitchen table and break out the candle wax and the fucking bondage equipment. Hopefully they'll just reluctantly go, all right then, and try and put the moves on you a bit and you can ignore them. But you never know with these people, because what have we learned from the last few years? It's that the woke are the most morally reprehensible people in modern society. So yeah, if you've got any sense, you probably steer clear of them. Right? Okay, right. Enough of these 2 perverts. Let's go on to this Guardian story that my missus sent me, because I'll tell you what, it's a fucking cracker. The endless retardian of the people that work for the Guardian. That's the new title for the BBC Spews. Look at this. Right. It perfectly leads on, by the way. This is why it's such a good story to cover. Because for the last few days, in fact, all of this week, I've talked about how the woke purposely push a narrative that they know is harmful. So it might be, like I said, there's dozens of ways. I've proved it in the last few days with all the different stories I've showed you. But this is a really good example, because this is as over as any of them. You know, when they're telling kids, get your cock off, or women be fat, or men, don't do any work. Don't do any work. Fuck. Do you know working's actually bad for your mental health? That type of shit. This one, look how bad it is. I mean, you can guess what it's going to say by looking at the picture, can't you? But look at this. Big, fat, green-skinned woman eating Skittles off her fucking belly. It says, slobbing out and giving up. Why are so many people going goblin mode? I've actually had this sent to me by more than one person. My missus sent me it, my mate Ryan sent me it. I've seen it. Everyone just knew I'd love this one. There must have been like collectively, oh, you'll fucking love this. The Bootneck loves reading shit like this. They knew that this is feeding the rage borner. It says the term embraces the comforts of depravity and a direct departure from the cottagecore influence of early pandemic days. Carrie Paul, I don't even, do I dare click on this? See what Carrie Paul looks like? Oh, okay, thankfully there's no picture. Carrie Paul's probably a fucking lunatic. I'm just going to Google that out of interest though. Carrie Paul. She, her in a bio, obviously. Doing the best that I can. She, her, of course. Of course. She's got her pronouns in a bio. There's another good one. Ladies, if you want to avoid, if you're on a dating app and you want to avoid fucking serious trouble, anyone who's got the pronouns in the bio is probably a good one to just fucking dodge. Oh, God. I must have clicked on it too many times. This wasn't up earlier. Oh, no, I'll do it later. There we go. Fucking hell. Thought it was good. Can you imagine charging to watch this? This is like charging to stand in front of the boot me in the bollocks machine. Like you type of thing one of those sex pests uses. Just gently hoofs you in the plums. Like a rotating chandler. Just hoofing you in the nut. It'd be like charging people money to go on that. You'd have to be a sadomasochist to spend money to read The Guardian. Like a serious sexual deviant. It says at some point in the stretch of days between the start of the pandemic's third year and the feared launch of World War III, fuck me, a new phrase entered the zeitgeist, a mysterious harbinger of the age to come. People were going goblin mode. The term embraces the comforts of depravity. Really? Really? Is this where we're going? Fucking bollocks. It's not bollocks, Maggie, it's bollocks. And even more confusingly, if something's shit, you can say that's absolute bollocks. But if something's really good, you say that's the dog's bollocks. And if it's the dog's bollocks, it's really good. I don't know how that works. We may have spawned the language, but we don't fucking speak it. I've learned that since I moved to America. England, we may have spawned the English language, but we don't fucking speak it properly. And 50% of the time, when you live out here and you're northern, you just spend your time repeating yourself. I can't even imagine how bad it'd be being a Glaswegian. It'd be a living nightmare. I think I'd just learn French. It'd be easier. And more people will probably understand what you're doing. It says the term embraces the comforts of depravity. Fuck me. Spending the day in bed, watching 90 Day Fiancé, no idea what it is, while scrolling endlessly through social media, pouring the end of a bag of chips in your mouth, crisps, downing Eggo toaster oven waffles with hot sauce over the sink because you can't be bothered to put them on a plate, leaving the house in your pajamas and socks only to get a Diet Coke from the Bodega. There was a kebab shop in Borough called the Bodega. No one had any idea what a fucking Bodega was. So it shows that the pretentiousness of this probably New York or California university-educated gender studies major shit for brains. What a load of bollocks. So they basically spend the entire fucking story trying to convince you that it's a bad idea to be a go-getter. It's a bad idea. Goblin mode is like when you wake up at 2 a.m. and shuffle into the kitchen wearing nothing but a t-shirt to make a snack, like melted cheese on crackers. He said, it's about a complete lack of aesthetic. Why would a goblin care about what they look like? Goblin mode's been linked to a viral Reddit post. But according to Google Trends, it started in early February and spiked after a doctored headline attributed a quote with the phrase to Kanye West muse Julia Fox. Goblin mode is the opposite of trying to better yourself, says Juniper, who declined to share her last name. I think that's the kind of energy we're going into 2022. Everyone's just kind of wild and insane. Well, no, they aren't. No, they aren't. Smoking weed alone and getting scared to not taking your meds. Brilliant. Brilliant, yeah. Top-notch life advice here. Don't fuck taking your meds. I'd love to know if any schizos who are basically that far away from going on a rampage and stabbing women in the face have stopped taking the meds as a result of this goblin mode trend that these fucking lunatics are pushing out there. Waste of air behaviour. These people are fucking oxygen thieves, sloshing portaloos. Why do they write this stuff? There's no social pressure to follow norms. There's also the feeling that we're all fucked, so why bother? 3 billion views on videos using that girl, which show the influencers organising pristine refrigerators full of freshly cut vegetables. Yeah, well, that's good. This is a good thing. I mean, I'm not one to praise influencers very often, but if they promote good habits, that is surely a good thing. Everybody who's read any long books about psychology knows this to be true, right? I know it for a fact. I know it from drinking too much when I'm on leave and I go out with my friends who are pissheads. You've got a mate who's a particularly savage drunk who like rolls out of bed at 9:30 and starts downing white lightning to take the edge off. These people drag you down. It's what the junkies say in Train Spotting. You know what I mean? Misery loves company. Heroin addicts will try to get you to do heroin because it's a human need. You feel better if somebody else is on the road to ruin with you. So rare praise from me will be for influencers that promote good lifestyle. If they're saying you should eat freshly cut vegetables and you should do a lot more exercise, that is ultimately the same message that professionals like Jordan Peterson tell people. It's that you should get yourself away from people who don't want the best for you. You should reject people, push them away from you if they're constantly promoting bad habits. And you should always strive to be a better person tomorrow than you were today. And that's not intelligent. Again, most of the wisdom I've got comes from my grandparents. You don't need to be a professional psychologist to know that goblin mode is harmful and doing a bit of exercise is not. To realise the folly and the dangerous precedent set by woke cunts pushing stories like this. Oh yeah, slobbing out and giving up. So many people are doing it. They haven't fucking just said outright, this is terrible. This is terrible. Not only is Carrie not saying it's terrible, she's basically giving you advice. Your advice on how to be a twat. What you should do is eat toaster oven waffles over the fucking sink and be a big fat useless oxygen thief eating Skittles off your fat gut. It's fucking criminal behaviour. And I know some shrill lefties will whinge and say, oh, no, they're not saying that. They are fucking saying that. Read it. Promoting it. It's like promoting the ridiculous gender-bending ideology. Oh, I have no interest in being that girl. I'll never wake up at 5 a.m. and drink green juice and be organised. I'll be in 4 a.m. Reddit holes, Diet Coke first thing in the morning and fistfuls of raw pasta as a snack. Well, you fucking suck. You're shit at life is the short version. You are fucking shit at life. And this whole story is just a fucking testament to it. It's cool. Look at the last paragraph if you doubt me. Look at the last paragraph. It is cool to be a goblin, Marnell says. Everyone is so perfect all the time online. It's good to get in touch with the strange creature that lives inside you. No. Lives inside me is what you should have said, Marnell. Because it doesn't live inside me. Because I'm not a fucking loser. It's not cool to be a goblin. In fact, let's get it off the screen. I don't want to promote this fucking bollocks. Look at the fat creature. That's what you should look at. It's not cool to be a goblin. It's harmful. If you're a goblin, you're a fucking dickhead. Sort your life out. Sort your life out. It's not hard. I'm a bootneck. I don't have a college degree. But I've never been skint. I've never been hungry. Never. Come from a single parent family in the worst of fucking town in Britain. Don't make me Google Middlesbrough again. I'll get flashbacks. I never get over it. I was the only one whistling round Baghdad because at least I hadn't seen a dead baby on the way to school. They talk about privilege all the time. It's bollocks. The numbers prove it. You're not privileged if you're a white working class man. You're the bottom rung. But you know what? There's no point in being bitter and twisted because it doesn't do anything. All it does is drag you down. Be under no illusions you are the bottom rung. The bottom rung. The woke are telling lies. We have the numbers to prove it. The educational statistics prove it. The homelessness statistics prove it. Most of the homeless are white men. Black lads on free school meals, 60% get to go to college. White lads on free school meals, about 7% of them. You are the bottom rung, but you don't encourage bad behaviour because you know what you do? You do what I do. You get angry about it and you say, fuck them. Fuck them. Get mad. Don't get sad. Get mad. And prove them wrong. I'm fucking working class scum and I will rip my heart out my chest and eat it if I'll take a penny in charity from some fucking do-gooder or some Guardian reader or some BBC fucking wank shaft. If I had to, I'd live in a tent and panhandle, get enough money. I'd do that for 6 months to get a hovel, a shared hovel in a bedsit. And then I'd get there and then I'd have an address and then I'd start working, cleaning the fucking toilets or waiting tables. And I've done all these shit jobs. When I was a teenager, I carried steel up fucking stairs on the coke ovens covered in coal dust. I've waited tables, these posh women who go on question time and go, we need the immigrants because white people won't do the bad jobs. Yeah, we will. We've done them. I've done them. Because people that are go-getters and not fucking losers will do any job that pays the bills because there's dignity in work. Whatever it is, if you're going out and doing some work instead of just sitting there and begging for scraps off some fucking corrupt politician, there's dignity there. Doesn't matter whether you're driving a bus, cleaning toilets, or working in McDonald's. You just have to have the right attitude. And this shit just promotes being a fucking sponge. Like, I'm better than you. If I'm working, I'm productive. If I'm working in McDonald's and some dolly comes in and goes, at least I don't work in McDonald's. I'm like, yeah, mate, I've got my own money. I earn my money. You are getting fed by me. I should be able to come into your house and just take 2 cans out your 6-pack because I'm paying for the fucking things. Everything that they teach kids now is backwards. You're not a victim if you're doing a minimum wage job. You're producing something and you're getting out of bed and you're sticking to a routine and you're getting a bit of exercise and you're socialising and you're being useful to society. And the small amount, because it's a tiny amount of income tax you pay when you're doing a minimum wage job, the small amount of income tax you pay will do something useful in the world. 90% of it will get wasted or sent to the Nigerian Spice Girls, but at some point, a penny of the toil of your labours will help fucking provide medicine to a starving child or whatever. So this whole story is absolute bollocks. Don't be a fucking goblin. Be an angry bastard and resolve to do something useful with the rage. And say, I'm not taking charity. I hate you. And I hate your attitude. And I hate your charity. I don't want it. Like I said, when I left the court, I have never, ever had a dole check. I'm 42 years old now. I've never, ever had a dole check. I don't know how it works. I left the court and I fucking lived off my savings until I got a shitty job. I got an agency job working basically working for the council doing the bins. And then because I was on time every time I got to work, within 6 weeks, I had an actual fucking job offer. And then they said, oh, you've got all your heavy goods licenses. You can drive a truck for us. And then I started doing that. And it just went from there. Everywhere I've ever worked, people have gone, fucking hell, he's switched on. He's never late for work. He always turns up attired correctly, 5 minutes early, where he's supposed to be, on time, with everything he needs to do his job. And it's fucking easy. I haven't some special charm and charisma. I'm not even tall. They say like tall, handsome men have an advantage in life. Yeah, well, I'm a short ass, 5'9", fucking hairy as fuck. Got 4 arms like Chewbacca's balls. I'm not particularly charismatic. I'm just a normal bloke that tries and has a bit of pride. And that's all you need. And this fucking shit, if you're having a tough time, dig in, get mad, and resolve to do better. That's all you need. And when the Guardian and the BBC tell you to be a fucking loser, ignore them and come and talk to me instead. What a lot of shit. I hate this bollocks. 3 days I've done it on the trot now. Just the BBC and the Guardian desperately doing the best to keep you fucking fat, unhealthy, depressed. It is absolutely shocking. So there we go. Fuck them. I think I'll call it a day there because I'm pissed off. And I get banned when I get pissed off. Yeah, seriously. Don't listen to me. Jordan Peterson's much better at doing the old self-help thing than I am. Chris Thrall's quite good as well. Not me. But seriously, all I need is rage. Rage fuels me on. I can be powered by hate. All I need is water and Tic Tacs and fucking furious anger, and I'll be good. I don't need anything off anyone. And that's a good attitude. Whatever works for you. I'm sure Jordan will tell you how to do it in some clever, subtle, intelligent manner. But fuck them. Seriously. Good luck if you're struggling. You can talk to me if you want. I mean, I'm not the best. I get a lot of messages nowadays, but I'll do my fucking best. All you need is a positive mental attitude, a willingness to do some fucking exercise because it helps. Get out of bed and go for a jog. Just do a mad. It's better than eating Skittles off your tits. All right? Fuck them. Thanks for watching. What day is it? All right, okay. I'll see you tomorrow. All right? Thanks for tuning in. Don't bother liking or sharing it because Susan doesn't fucking... She snatches them before they get out the fucking hole. So who cares? But fuck them. Fuck them all. I'll see you all tomorrow. Have a good night. Cheers.